Hey there. So are you thinking about making a move from California to Utah? Well, today we are going to quickly run through 9 things that you need to know before making your move out here to Utah. And we're going to go ahead and get started right now. Here. Welcome back to the channel, or welcome to the channel if this is your very first time here. This channel is literally everything you need to know about eating, working, playing, sleeping, and living in the Salt Lake City, Utah area. If that is of interest to you, consider subscribing down below so you don't miss our weekly videos. We hear from people like you all the time who are looking to make a move or relocating out here to the Beehive State, and we absolutely love it. So if you are thinking about making a move, feel free to give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email, and it would be our pleasure to connect with you. So you're thinking about making a change, you're in California, you're thinking about maybe Utah, you've heard a lot of good things about Utah, but you're not quite sure. Well, you're in luck, because today we are going to run through 9 things that you need to know before considering making a move out here to Utah. And honestly, it wasn't that many years ago that I was in your exact same situation, and my husband and I were looking at each other and we're talking to each other and we're going, man, I think we're supposed to move to Utah. Like, I've heard a lot of good things, but I'm not quite sure. Like, I don't know. And we came on out, we checked it out many times, and we just took a leap of faith, and we've been here for a few years now, and we absolutely love it. But we were both born and raised in California, in the Bay Area, and then lived down in Southern California for 15 years. So we know California very well. We love California, but for us and our family, making a move out here to Utah has been incredible. So let's hop right into these 9 things. Number 1, first and foremost, Utah is just less congested. There are fewer people here in the state of Utah. In California, obviously, California is a lot larger than Utah, but there's right around 40 million residents in California. Here in Utah, you're looking more around 3 million plus, give or take a little bit. So just way fewer people, and just the traffic congestion here is a lot less. This summer, we were back in Northern California visiting our families that were up there. I remember sitting on the 101 freeway. We were going from the Bay Area up to Sonoma County, Napa area. And we're sitting there, and my kids are going crazy. We've got 4 kids in the back of the car, and they're like, why is there so much traffic? Why, Mommy, why is that car in front not moving? It's like, well, sweetheart, this is traffic. Like, this stinks. I was like, I know it does. And they're like, back in Utah, we don't have this kind of traffic. I said, you're right. Most of the places where we go, we're not sitting in that kind of traffic. But honestly, we went from Sacramento to, Sonoma County area. We went from the Bay Area to Sonoma County. We did some of those. And most of the time we were stuck on the freeways. So here in Utah, you're going to see less congestion. Yes, you're definitely going to see traffic in Salt Lake, and it's become more so over the years, but a lot less than California. When we lived down in San Diego, we lived down there for 15 years. And I remember literally sitting the first summer that we actually moved from San Francisco down to San Diego. And I remember we're sitting on the 5 freeway, and we're going through kind of like that San Juan Capistrano area. You've got the beautiful beach, on the right-hand side when you're coming down from Orange County. And I just remember going, this is so beautiful. And, we're cruising along going 65. And then honestly, it just came to a standstill, and we just sat in bumper to bumper traffic for what felt like hours. I'm sure it was probably only like a half hour, 40 minutes, but it felt like forever. And we kind of looked at each other. We're like, oh, is this what our time here is going to be like? And we had no idea. But the traffic and the congestion in California compared to Utah is going to be considerably less. So that's number 1. Number 2, California to Utah also means lower taxes. Yes, you heard that right. Lower taxes from California to Utah. My husband's a tax accountant, and so when we ended up making the move out here, his tax brain was going on overdrive, and he was like, Mariah, do you realize, like, in California, you know, at the highest tax rate there, you know, you're paying 13%, and you come here to Utah, you are paying a flat tax rate of 4.95%. So regardless of your income, everybody pays a flat tax here. So for you, that may or may not be a good thing, but something to consider. A lot of Californians that are moving out here, they're realizing, oh wow, I'm saving a lot of money in taxes as opposed to living in California. Number 3 is going to be the scenic views that you have here in Utah. You can see behind me, you've got these majestic mountains. The views, the mountains here are absolutely gorgeous. California has some spectacular views, and you know, living in the Sonoma County area for so many years and having the vineyards and the rolling hills, and honestly having, you know, the beaches nearby, you've got San Francisco, you've got all these incredible things. And then Southern California, you've got the beautiful beaches. And it's funny because I remember when I told my parents, hey, you know, we're thinking about making a move to Utah. And they were like, really? Okay, well, why? I was like, you know, we love the outdoors, and California's been great for that. I said, we're just ready for a change. But I go, have you ever noticed, like, Utah is so beautiful? And I just know for us, we love, like, our family, we love being outdoors. Last night we took our kids for a bike ride and we rode our bikes to the park, and we're looking at all of the change in colors of the mountains. It's starting to be fall here coming up pretty soon, and you can see the trees changing colors and the mountains are changing colors. And then, you know, just the scenic views. You've got so many state parks, you've got so many local parks, you've got our 5 national parks here in Utah. The views here are hard to beat for sure. Number 4 is going to be the different political climate that you are going to see primarily here in Utah versus California. Now, we know California historically has been more of a blue state, with northern, you know, the northern part being more liberal, the southern part being a little bit more conservative. Well, here in Utah, this is historically more of a red state. And so again, if that aligns with your political views and beliefs, this may or may not be a good fit for you. Not saying that there are not people here of, you know, both political views, but historically you're going to see Utah be more of the red state and California being more of the blue. Okay, moving right along. Number 5. Number 5, here in Utah, you are going to see a lot of people that are really into healthy living, healthy eating, healthy lifestyle. There is a lot of activity going on here and just a lot of things going on. If you are involved in bike riding, there are bike riding clubs. If you're into running, in pickleball, in soccer, in walking, in hiking, backpacking, skiing, snowboarding, really you name it. There are so many activities that promote a healthy lifestyle here in Utah, and it's a big draw for people to come out here because people love the outdoors, and if you love the outdoors, this may be a good spot for you. Number 6, I feel like you can't talk about Utah without talking about the world-class famous snow that exists here in Utah. Yes, Utah is known for its magnificent snow and just the different ski resorts that are here. You've got world-class ski resorts that are right outside of Salt Lake City. You've got Alta and Brighton and Snowboard that are really so close to Salt Lake. And then of course you've got Park City where the Olympics were. So if skiing is your thing, and you know, snowboarding, snowshoeing, snowmobiling, any of that kind of thing, this may be a good fit for you. Last winter, my son and my husband were invited to go on a little camp out during the winter time, and some of their buddies ended up having like snowmobiles, and they did snow tubing where they would take all the boys up to the top of a hill, and then they would just go all the way down, and the boys, instead of, usually you see it, at least we did in California, with the boat and the tubes behind, but this is a snowmobile or a side-by-side that's taking the boys down. At any rate, my son has talked about it this whole last year and was like, Mommy, do you think I'm going to be able to do that again? That was so much fun. So world-class snow here is a big deal. Number 7, something that we noticed moving from California here to Utah was just the small town feel and the small town charm that exists in a lot of the cities around Salt Lake City and Park City and all. Each little city has kind of its own little charm, and things that go along with that charm are the little festivals, the celebrations, the parades they have. In fact, it was funny, over the summer we took our kids, well, a couple of different festivals, but one, we took our kids to this little festival. It's called Swiss Days, and it's in Midway, Utah. And they've got parades, and we took our bikes and we rode right in Midway, Utah, which is outside of Park City. My kids thought it was so much fun. They've got parades with floats, and they're throwing candies out. The same thing in Utah County. Alpine has what's called Alpine Days. Same sort of thing where they've got parades, and they've got a 5K race, and they've got, the Ferris wheel. They've got all the activities and fun things that go along with it. Pleasant Grove has something called Strawberry Days, and each city really has something that kind of lends itself to that small town charm. Provo, Utah has something right over the 4th of July that's called the American Freedom Day Festival, and they do it up huge. They've got a hot air balloon festival. They've got the 5K and 10K race. They've got just so many events throughout that week, and they have what's called the Stadium of Fire, which is unbelievable. If you've never been to the Stadium of Fire, it's on BYU's, Brigham Young University's campus. It's right in their stadium. They do a fireworks show. They always have fantastic singers, and it's something you don't want to miss. And at least if you come out here, you want to see it at least one time. It is spectacular. So small town charm, definitely giving this to Utah as one of those things that is a pretty magical thing. Number 8, we are going with the top performing economy here in Utah, home to lots of startup companies, home to what we call the Silicon Slopes that are right in Lehi, Utah, and some of the surrounding areas that are just south of Salt Lake City. Job economy, the jobs that are here, lots of startups. If you're looking for something that may be a good possibility and might be a good fit for you, Provo, Utah, not long ago was ranked as having one of the strongest job markets and job economies. So that's kind of another selling point for Utah too, for you. And then last but not least, number 9, let's talk about the family friendly that you are definitely going to see here in Utah. It's actually really funny. So when we ended up having our twins, so we have 4 kids, and when we had our twins, which were kind of surprise twins at the end, hello, surprise, we ended up having 4 kids ages 4 and under. Yes, it was crazy, and it all works out, but it was a little wild at the time. I remember we were living in San Diego at that time, and I should have figured out like grocery delivery. There's a lot of things I would have done differently that I'm like, Mariah, why didn't you do some of these things that I probably should have done? But I think I was just in survival mode at that point years ago. So I just remember like pushing my twins in the stroller, and then I had like my other 2 kids were like walking around. I'm in Costco. I've got my Costco shopping cart. I've got my twins. And I remember people coming up to me and being like, are these all your kids? I was like, yep, they're all my kids. And then I go, in the next aisle, and somebody be like, wow, you really have your hands full. are these all yours? I said, yeah, they're all mine. And one lady even said like, hey, are you running a daycare? I was like, nope, I'm not running a daycare. These kids are all mine. She's like, wow, that's a lot. It was just so funny. And then coming here to Utah, it is not uncommon at all to be in Costco and see a parent in there with 6 kids or 8 kids or 4 kids or 1 kid. You know, it's so different. But the number of family-friendly activities here in Utah are, in my personal opinion, second to none. And not only like sports and musical, but a lot of the schools have different educational programs that I know in California we didn't, you know, at least some of the schools that we were at didn't offer. Music and typing programs, and some of them have like a dual immersion you know, linguistic program. There's STEM labs. There's, I mean, just so many different things that a lot of the schools that my kids could have gone to, neighborhood schools, they did not offer that. Here in Utah, there is a lot in the way of education and family friendly. It's not uncommon to go to a park and see tons of families with picnics and kids riding their scooters and riding their bikes and just people out and about in the community. And then same thing with all these different festivals and parades and all the different celebrations. People, it feels like, really welcome families, welcome kids. So if you're looking for something like that, here in Utah, that may be a good fit for, you know, for you and your family. So if you are thinking about making a move from California or anywhere else for that matter, we really hear from people like you all the time that are looking to relocate or making a move out here, or just thinking about like, you know, I keep hearing about Utah and I'm not quite sure if it's going to be the right fit. Feel free to give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email. And if you tell us a few things of what you are really, you know, what you're looking for specifically, hey, I'm looking for this, I'm looking for this, we can pinpoint exact areas that would be a good fit, a good neighborhood for you and your family. So again, if you are thinking about making a move, feel free to give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email. Take care and have a great one. Bye.